Hi, today I'll talk about a fat shedding diet secret, but before I begin, let me ask you a question. Have you ever asked yourself, why are you fat? Every time you look into the mirror, wondering why people out there are having a nice summer body with full confidence while you're still struggling with your recently sized up t-shirt, you might even be wondering, are you gonna be like them one day? Are there any chances for you to change? Well, of course there are. However, summer bodies don't come with ease. People spend time and effort to make themselves look good. But what's important is that you're healthy from the inside out. When I say fat burn, the first thing that comes into your mind will be exercise. Yes, of course you need to exercise to have a nice summer body. But do you know that our eating habit affects our body the most? Having an unhealthy lifestyle not only slows down your metabolism, but also brings you chronic diseases. With a slow metabolic system, you can even gain weight by only drinking water. This is also the reason why some people slim down at a very slow rate, but gain all the weight back in one night. Slimming down is good, but slimming down healthily is the key point here. We want you to look into your health first, instead of focusing on how you're going to slim down. Now, let's talk about the fat shedding diet secret. We all know that our bodies need a certain amount of fat for optimal functioning, but we need to know what are the right kinds of fat to consume in moderation. Some fats should be avoided at all costs, but some fats are actually good for you. Bad fats increase cholesterol and risk of diseases, but good fats protect your heart and are essential to your physical and emotional health. But the question is, how do you identify which is which? So, let's learn about fats. Basically, there are two groups of fats, saturated fats and unsaturated fats, and within each group are more types of fats. Unsaturated fats are the good fats. They include polyunsaturated fatty acids and monounsaturated fats. These fats can help lower your cholesterol levels and reduce your risk of heart disease if you learn to eat them in moderation in replacement of saturated or trans fats. Polyunsaturated fats are mostly found in vegetable oils. Omega-3 in fatty fish and walnuts are really beneficial to health. It helps lower both blood cholesterol level and decrease cardiovascular disease. Monounsaturated fats are a good source of antioxidant vitamin E. These types of fats are typically liquid at room temperature but solidify if refrigerated. Olive oil is a great choice. Mediterranean countries consume lots of it, as its dietary component is credited with the low levels of heart disease in those countries. Saturated fats are the bad fats found in animal products and in vegetable fats that are liquid at room temperature, such as coconut and palm. Saturated fats are bad if consumed in a large scale. You should keep it under 10% of your total calories. Let's talk about the evil fats here. We've been hearing a lot about trans fatty acids or trans fats these days. Trans fats are even more dangerous than saturated fats. These evil fats have absolutely no positive benefit to the human body in any way, yet they've been scientifically proven to harm the body in many ways. Trans fats can increase your bad or LDL cholesterol levels, lower your good or HDL cholesterol levels, cause heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Artificial trans fats are extensively used in frying, baked goods like cookies, crackers, icings, packaged snacks, and certain margarines. You're probably consuming trans fats on a daily basis. Considering the fact that it's unanimously agreed upon by everyone in the nutrition field that trans fats are really bad for your health, you should either consume minimal trans fats in your diet or pretty much avoid completely for best results. Now that you've learned about fats, it's time to learn how to design your own diet to shed those extra pounds. Creating a weight loss diet that caters to your own taste preferences is the golden rule to a successful diet plan. Don't go for an extreme diet plan just because you're desperate for a drastic change in your weight. It's unrealistic and you rarely get to your goal. Ideally, small changes in a healthy direction over time works magic on your body. Follow these simple, magical steps to creating your own fat-shedding diet. Identify your current diet. Keep a careful diary log of your normal food intake for 7 days. Eat as per usual, but keep record of what you have consumed each day, how much at each meal or snack. For example, how many bowls of cereal? 1 or 2? How much milk? What type of milk? And then you calculate the amount of calories you intake for each meal, add all 7 days total calories intake, and divide by 7. This will give you a good idea of the caloric intake you're currently consuming at your current body weight. Design a new diet. Dream big, but start small. Be realistic and take small steps towards big success. A safe weight loss that will most likely be permanently consistent is 1 pound a week. Do your math. 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. 3,500 divided by 7 days a week equals 500 calories each day. Identify your daily average calorie count and subtract 500 calories. However, keep in mind that you should not lower your calorie intake to less than 1,500 without advice from a professional registered dietitian. Play of substitution. Don't quit food. Learn to substitute healthier foods that you like and reduce portions of high-calorie foods that you like so you can achieve the new lower daily calorie count. Let's just say you love burgers and almost can't live without them. It's okay. Eat a burger. But instead of eating the whole thing as is, lower its calorie count by cutting the portion size or substituting a certain ingredient. Eat half of it rather than the whole. Opt for lean chicken meat rather than fattening beef patty. A sprinkle of chili flakes instead of oozing chili sauce. The easiest and most possible way to achieve huge calorie savings is by changing the way your favorite foods are prepared. Avoid frying and rich or thick sauces. Opt for steam, bake, broil, roast, or even better, just eat it fresh. Next, I'd like to share with you the secret to staying full. Are you always hungry? Do you eat more than 3 meals a day but still feel hungry all the time? Have you ever wondered why? The secret is to reach for foods that satisfy your tummy instead of ones that only cater to your appetite but leave you hungry for more. In a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that some high-calorie foods, like bakery treats, not only don't make you full, but they actually trigger your appetite. In the research experiment, participants who were fed a meal of such foods actually ended up eating twice as much over the rest of the day, 3,000 calories in all, as compared to those participants fed a low-fat and low-calorie meal. Now, here's the deal. Find fitter fast food. Look for low-fat, low-calorie, and fulfilling options. Brown rice, grilled skinless lean meat, whole wheat bread, salads, they're extremely filling actually, soup, and best yet, plain water. Goes along with any meal and you'll feel full for sure. So, that's it. The ultimate secret to a fat-shedding diet. Learn about your food, eat smart, and you'll be shedding those fats away with not just a healthy body, but also a happy tummy. In this video, we'll talk about fat burn mantra and how to eat like a celebrity and not get fat. Believe it or not, it's all about the mindset. If your body is a car, your mind is the engine. Your mindset drives your body, it fuels your will and determination to work towards your goal. It can be difficult to achieve and maintain your ideal body shape and weight. It takes more than just healthy eating and regular exercise. A positive and motivated mindset is essential to keep going. If you tell yourself negative things, this is so hard, I can't do this, you're not gonna make it far. But if you encourage yourself with thoughts like, I can do this, nothing can stop me, I'm gonna lose 5 pounds by the end of the week, you're motivated to achieve your diet goals. Mindsets are assumptions or beliefs that you establish to govern your behavior and choices. There are 2 types of mindsets, fixed and growth-oriented. People with a fixed mindset think of the absolutes and allow little to no room for possibilities. They're fixated to their definite opinion and would not budge from that framed mindset. When faced with a challenge, they tend to take the easy way out to avoid failure and embarrassment. This is a psychological principle known as self-handicapping. People with a growth mindset strongly believe in possibilities. They're open-minded, willing to adopt new ideas, and learn to improve. They take on challenges even at the risk of failing. They're open to embrace failure because they know they can learn from it. To successfully shed fat, first shed your negative thinking. Research shows that one of the many important factors that influences weight loss is your attitude, whether or not you believe you can do it and if it is worth doing. It's a simple theory. What you think will affect how you feel and in turn the actions you take. Similar to how conventional medications often treat symptoms of disease without addressing the cause, weight loss diets often address your weight without addressing what has led you to be overweight. Being overweight is not as simple as eating too much or moving too little. There's an underlying combination of subconscious conditioning, self-worth issues, emotional difficulties, and more. You might be able to lose a couple of pounds by solely changing your diet and doing exercises, but it won't last long, as symptom-specific diets will only be temporarily effective. Addressing the underlying psychological cause that led you to be overweight while applying a balanced diet and exercise will ensure you long-lasting weight loss. Follow these life-changing mantras that could help you eliminate any sort of destructive thoughts that sabotage your body weight. Others' opinions don't matter as long as I love my body. Eliminate the fear of others' opinions. When we despise how we look and how we feel, our bodies reflect and adopt these ideas. Due to the environmental conditioning, many people think they must be thin to really love themselves. It's all because of others' opinions. But loving yourself must come first for your weight loss efforts to be effective. Shed your fears. Learn to love your own body and each small change that occurs to it through your dieting effort. Slow and steady. Learn as you go. If you lose your fats too fast, it may not last. A little goes a long way. Focus on progress over perfection because no perfection comes along without long-term progression. Be patient and work with a well-planned diet for the long run. Your body takes time to adjust to all the changes. A diet done in the right way will ensure that your body will be accustomed to the changes and that the effects are definitely longer lasting. I may not be where I want to be, but I'm better than where I was. I don't have enough time. 15 minutes of workout won't make a difference. Sound familiar? This is the kind of statement that gives you permission to veer from the healthy habits that help you lose weight. Don't find excuses. A tiny effort done is always better than none. 15 minutes each day rather than none at all is still going to make a change to your body regardless of how significant it is. Always remember that every small step taken is a step closer to your goal. Never underestimate yourself. Now I'll share with you how to eat like a celebrity and not get fat. When you see photos of Rihanna's slim but glamorous silhouette or Jessica Alba's flat post-pregnancy tummy, you probably wonder how celebrities stay so lean and how they always manage to snap back into shape in the blink of an eye. Truth is, some celebrities go to strange and outrageous lengths to get or stay thin, even though most of them swear that their perfect bodies come from exercising and eating clean. It's risky to just blindly follow with those alleged diet plans of celebrities. But fret not, because here are some legit, useful, and healthy tips quoted directly from A-list celebrity trainers you could steal and not be wary of the risk. Tips from celebrity trainers. Number 1. Celebrities eat breakfast. Number 2. They pick their veggies. 3. They snack. Healthy snacks, of course. And number 4. They don't stop drinking water. Now, let's talk about the first tip. Celebrities eat breakfast. We all know the importance of breakfast, but there are still many people skipping their breakfast on a daily basis. Celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, trainer to Jennifer Lopez, Penelope Cruz, Leah Remini, introduced the idea of eating within 30 minutes of waking up in the morning. You want to send your body a signal that you're not starving, so it starts burning fat, says Peterson. Try oatmeal, scrambled egg whites, fruits. These ingredients provide filling fiber, protein, and vitamins. Research shows that breakfast eaters are more successful at long-term weight loss as it helps jumpstart your metabolism and prevents overeating throughout the day. Here's tip number 2. Be picky in choosing your veggies. No, celebrities don't plan and pick their own veggies. They're taught by their trainers to be picky in what veggies they eat. Here's a tip to slimming down a few inches for a be-seen event. Nutritionist Carrie Wyatt made famous singer Fergie stock up on watery veggies and fruits, lettuce, celery, cucumbers, watermelon, grapes, to help get rid of bloating as those veggies work by flushing out your system. Cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, and pears lead to gas and bloating, so if you'd like to be seen lean for the night, remember to avoid these right before an event. Tip number 3. They snack. Healthy snacks, of course. Trainer Valerie Waters had her clients, Jennifer Garner, Elizabeth Berkley, carry 150-calorie snacks wherever they go. A few all-time favorite snack combos include apple slices with low-fat string cheese, a couple of crackers topped with chicken salad, or a few slices of turkey ham with fruits. According to Valerie Waters, it's important to eat something every 3 to 4 hours, because you can go from feeling kinda hungry to thinking you're starving badly as your blood sugar can drop quickly. Healthy snacking helps curb your cravings and gives you an instant energy boost to keep you satiated. Tip number 4. They don't stop drinking. I hope you're not thinking about alcohol. Drink water. Of course it's water. They never stop drinking water. Celebrity trainer and nutritionist Harley Pasternak, whose clients include Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Megan Fox, Robert Downey Jr., urges the importance of hydration. According to Pasternak, thirst can often be mistaken for hunger, so regularly sipping water throughout the day can keep excess calories off your plate and your mouth. Now that you already know the 4 tips from celebrity trainers, let's move on to the 3 famous celebrity diet plans. The first one is the 5-factor diet. Created by nutritionist and celebrity fitness guru Harley Pasternak, the 5 factors consist of the elements each meal should include: protein, complex carbs, fats, fibers, and fluids. This diet plan requires you to eat 5 meals a day with recipes of no more than 5 ingredients. And guess what? You get one cheat day per week, where you're allowed to eat anything you'd like. Celebrities like Eva Mendes, Alicia Keys, Megan Fox, and Katy Perry are the followers of this diet. The next diet plan is the Zone Diet. Developed by former scientist Dr. Barry Sears, this diet involves obtaining 40% of your daily caloric intake from carbohydrates, 30% from fats, and 30% from carbs. Sears created this diet based on balancing the correct amount of amino acids with carbs because it helps control your appetite and prevent overeating. You are to eat 3 portion-controlled meals and 2 snacks a day. Famous Hollywood celebrity Jennifer Aniston was such a big fan of this diet, some even called it the Jennifer Aniston diet. And lastly, the Pressed Juicery. Pressed Juicery is a California-based company whose products are, in general, dense in nutrition, low in sugar, yet high in fiber, and are proven to be a sensible way of consuming calories. It has been widely popular among celebrities to follow this 6 juices a day, 1,200 calorie intense cleanse. This Pressed Juicery diet is said to be a major bloat beater. Every morning you'll receive a daily supplement of juices delivered to your doorstep. Each fresh, nutrient-packed drink is specially designed to replace meals and snacks, and you're highly advised to avoid alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine in order to achieve a complete cleansing. Hollywood celebrity, and also a busy mom, Nicole Richie sips on these juices. I drink these between meals to be sure I'm getting everything I need. I don't go a day without a greens juice. Kale, spinach, cucumber, celery, and romaine. It's actually really good, says Richie. Lastly, I'll share with you the star diet mantras and tricks. Now the Hollywood stars are spilling their secrets to their perfect body shape. Aren't you excited? Nicki Minaj's secret is no sugar or starch. She lost 10 pounds by giving up Snickers and sides of potatoes 3 days before a big shoot. Hilary Duff's secret is simply treat yourself. She does boxing drills and runs a lot. She eats a lot of chicken, but she rewards herself too. Kaylee Cuoco's secret is no alcohol. She skips alcohol for a lean body, claiming that alcohol bloats the body. She also works out 4 to 5 times a week, yoga, horseback riding, etc. Jennifer Lopez's secret is cardio all the time. She lost 8 pounds by eating lean meat, broccoli, and carrots. Jessica Simpson's secret is oatmeal in small portions. She eats small portions of chicken and oatmeal. She also does strength training sessions 3 times a week. Miranda Lambert's secret is to have everything in moderation. She plans her daily intake. If her breakfast is high in calories, she picks a low-calorie dinner like grilled chicken and sweet potatoes. She still snacks on her must-have snacks, Cheetos, by doing daily hour-long cardio drills. Ashley Tisdale's secret is, again, breakfast. She always starts her day with fresh fruit, an egg white omelet, and whole wheat toast. And there you have it. All the secrets from top celebrities to start blasting those fats away. Hope these tips and tricks motivated you and encouraged you to start burning those fats away from your body. In this video, you'll learn about easy fat killer techniques. But before going into detail, let's talk about cardio. The word cardio is short for cardiovascular. Cardio workouts are endurance exercises that strengthen the circulatory system consisting of the heart and blood vessels in your body. People do cardio over long stretches of time as it makes the heart beat faster and pump more blood through your system, bringing nutrients and oxygen to every cell. Cardio workout can simply be explained as a physical exercise of low to high intensity that depends on the aerobic energy generating process of the exercise you do. It's any activity that gets your heart rate raised to 50 to 75% of your maximum heart rate. Calculate your maximum with the formula 220 minus your age. For example, if you're 25 years old, 220 minus 25 equals 195. Cardio workout burns calories in your body. Most people do cardio training to lose weight, gain body mass, train stamina, etc. There are different intensities to cardio exercises. Low or moderate intensity exercise normally leaves you feeling slightly breathless but still able to comfortably talk to someone. Low intensity exercises include walking, swimming, or cycling. On the other hand, high intensity exercises will leave you speaking in short sentences as you sweat and breathe rapidly. High intensity exercises include running, sprinting, aerobic classes like Zumba, or circuit training. It is commonly believed that long, slow, and low-intensity cardio is best for fat loss as it utilizes aerobic exercises that burn fat during exercise, while some find high-intensity cardio more effective for fat loss as it burns higher amounts of overall fat. So the question is, how do you know which one is better? Low intensity or high intensity? The short answer is that the best type of cardio, whether low or high intensity, is the one you will do consistently over time. The optimal plan is to start at lower intensity if you're new to cardio and slowly work your way up to higher intensities as your endurance and cardiorespiratory work capacity improve. The reason is because beginners doing high intensity training are highly prone to body burnout due to continuous hardcore training that causes strains towards your body, especially your muscles and joints. Burnout will leave you feeling extremely tired, cranky, exhausted, and too worn out to stick with your routine. If you're a beginner, try interval training. Warm up at a low intensity and alternate 1 minute of high intensity with 1 minute low, or you can call it recovery intensity. As you progress, you can then start to either increase the intensity or the duration of the high intensity part, or decrease the duration of the low intensity part. By doing so, you'll be able to burn more calories during the workout at higher intensity. Remember, losing fat is about burning more calories than we consume over time. Combining both LI and HI will contribute to hitting your weight loss goals faster. Remember to progress slowly with baby steps though. Doing too much too soon can lead to injury or burnout, which can take you out of the game. Here are the advantages of both low intensity and high intensity cardio. Maybe you should screen cap this table for your future reference. It'll help you decide the best workout that suits your body best at specific stages. So now that you know the benefits of low intensity and high intensity cardio, I'll show you some examples of exercises for low intensity, moderate intensity, and high intensity respectively so that you have a rough idea. For low intensity, you can briskly walk, do some stretching routines, yoga, swimming, and some simple household chores such as vacuuming, mopping, yard work, or washing the car. For moderate intensity, you can do speed walking, cycling, basically up-leveling any low-intensity exercise by a notch will simply work as a moderate-intensity workout. For high intensity, you can do aerobic exercises, jump rope, high-speed running or jogging, push-ups, or jumping jacks. Now I've prepared a 10-minute beginner high-intensity workout. Here's a little tip for a beginner HI cardio workout for you. Complete 3 sets of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. First step. Jab, cross, front, right side. Stand with your right foot in front of the left, hips facing your left side. Bring your arms up into a boxing position. Jab or punch forward with the right arm, then throw a cross punch with the left arm, letting your body rotate as your left arm crosses over your body to the right. Your body weight should be over your right foot, with your back heel picking up off the floor slightly. Bring both arms back into your body, shifting your weight back to the starting position and facing front. This is the front move. Repeat on the left side. Second step, jab, cross, front, left side. Third step, jumping jacks. Start by standing upright with your feet at hip width apart and your arms at your sides. Jump your feet out while raising your arms. Repeat as fast as possible. If a regular jumping jack is too difficult, step side to side while raising your arms instead. Fourth step, sumo squats. Position your feet a little more than hip width apart and point your toes out at a 45-degree angle. Keeping your weight in your heels, back flat and chest upright, lower yourself until your thighs are parallel to the floor. Engage your glutes and quads and push back to the start position. Repeat. Cool down with an overhead stretch, reverse lunge, and forward fold. All you have to do is follow the killer cardio plan. Using this workout schedule as a framework, you can easily add in any cardio exercise that falls into the corresponding workout style. Have you ever seen some weight loss TV program where some contestants lose a big amount of weight only to gain it back almost right away? Ever wondered how and why that happened? It's all because of the yo-yo effect. What's the yo-yo effect? Yo-yo effect, also known as weight cycling, is the cyclical loss and gain of weight, resembling the up and down motion of a yo-yo. Losing weight quickly by doing a diet plan, then regaining it falling back into your eating habits, or failing to stick to your exercise routine will lead you towards the yo-yo effect. A classic yo-yo dieter's weight goes up and down but rarely stays in one place for long. People who do diets without consistency tend to fall into a vicious circle. After each weight loss, the weight regain that follows is worse than the previous one, which then makes them diet even more severely than last time. Such a yo-yo effect can lead you to put on more than 20 times of your normal weight, or worst case, obesity. So, what are the causes? Number 1, too difficult diets. A diet plan that is too restrictive to follow over a long period of time. Number 2, overexertive exercises. This causes burnout and difficulty to keep it up in the long run. Number 3. Unbalanced diet. The same nutritional mistakes will be reproduced a few weeks or months later. Number 4. Extreme dieting. This causes depression and fatigue, resulting in difficulty to sustain the willpower to continue. The common reasons of yo-yo dieting seen above are what drive yo-yo dieters to eating more than they would have before dieting, causing them to rapidly regain weight. When psychological factors kick in, it's almost impossible for dieters to sustain their willpower. Therefore, old eating habits and lack of exercise cause fat and weight to bounce back as much or even more. The yo-yo effect is dangerous. Why? Because the regained weight is increasingly difficult to lose. Imagine you're struggling to lose 10 pounds, and now you have to lose 20 pounds due to the rebounding weight. Anyone will go crazy. Rebounding occurs because our body remembers the effects of deprivation caused by successions of diets over a long period of time, therefore resulting in storing more fats in reserve to prepare for future diets. It is a progressive development of obesity. Your weight will bounce back in an extreme manner, and the recovering process is twice as difficult as the previous diet process. You'll feel out of control and lose grasp on the long run, thus resulting in a rocketing weight gain, leading to obesity. Besides, emotional distress leads to depressive disorders. The suppression from previous extreme diets are bound to cause you depressive disorders like insomnia, depression, dysthymia, bipolar. Such disorders will interfere with your daily life, affecting your normal functioning and cause pain to you and your loved ones. Thus, you'll have a higher possibility of having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, gallbladder disease, or cardiovascular disease, arteritis, infarction, etc. Inconsistent food intake, unbalanced nutrition, on and off extreme exercise workouts, and emotional instability will eventually drive your body haywire. Your body won't be able to familiarize itself with all the changes done within an inconsistent time frame and manner. All of the above dangers will eventually lead to the possibility of a shortened lifespan. There's nothing wrong with being ambitious and eager to achieve your ideal weight. Having the desire and the drive to meet your goal is half the battle in getting there. Be flexible and learn from your mistakes. If you try an exercise regimen or a new food plan that you don't enjoy or find hard to sustain, then try something else. Bear in mind that your goal should not be to lose as much weight as you can or as quickly as you can. You need to establish healthy patterns of eating and exercise that'll help you lose weight while at the same time having long sustainability. You need to realize that trying to do too much too quickly could be your undoing. Be realistic on the amount of changes you're able to make at once. Keep track on your progress and find sources of support, as it'll be helpful for you to overcome difficulties. Exercise buddies are great, and some people find a lot of value in the support they get through online communities. The most crucially essential factor in solving the yo-yo dilemma has to do with changing your behavior. Practice eating smaller, more frequent meals. Plan your food intake. Include hunger-fighting protein at each meal and snack. Plan ahead, keep track, and list help. A quick sprint might get you to the finish line if you're lucky, but chances are you're going to be left exhausted and out of the game. When it comes to successful weight loss, slow and steady definitely wins the race. With so much talk of healthy foods and what you should be eating, the foods that are the worst for us can get overlooked. The reason it's so hard to avoid these kinds of foods is because the things that make them bad also make them taste good. Fatty foods typically taste good, so do sweet and salty ones, which means a lot of the foods you love are likely not the best things you can have. But you don't have to resort to living like Tom Hanks in Castaway. There are plenty of foods that you can turn to that taste amazing and won't jeopardize your well-being. It's about learning why certain foods are bad so you can make better choices on a day-to-day basis. That being said, here are some dietary landmines to watch out for and step around. A new study published in the journal Preventing Chronic Disease revealed that 84% of packaged foods that listed 0 grams trans fat on their nutrition facts label still had partially hydrogenated oil, the main dietary source of trans fat, in the ingredient list. Current laws allow companies to round down fewer than 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving to 0. The good news? The amount of trans fat we eat has dropped in the past 30 years, according to a recent study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. Men are consuming 32% less trans fat and women 35% less than they were in 1980. Still, 1.9% of men's daily calories and 1.7% of women's daily calories come from trans fat today. The American Heart Association recommends limiting trans fat to no more than 1% of total calories consumed. Even a few daily grams of these fats increase bad cholesterol, decrease good cholesterol, and clog arteries. And Harvard researchers estimate that trans fats cause up to 228,000 cases of heart disease and 50,000 deaths annually. Since 2 grams is the most you should have in a day, allowing food with 0.5 grams or less to call themselves trans fat free is a real problem. Simply said, you're best off avoiding trans fat containing foods completely. I'll also show you some quick examples of food rich in trans fat that you might not even be aware of. The first is non-dairy coffee creamer. Half a gram of trans fat in creamer can quickly turn into multiple, since consumers tend to use more than the serving size of a teaspoon per cup. And the typical American coffee drinker guzzles an average of 3 cups of joe per day. On many zero trans fat labels, you can find partially hydrogenated oils as the second or third ingredient listed. The second one is peanut butter. Some companies use partially hydrogenated oils to achieve a long shelf life and creamy texture, so check the label. To be safe, opt for the natural variety. Although it's chunkier, it's also healthier and normally made with just salt and peanuts, not oils loaded with trans fat. You might think that avoiding usual pizza is good, but frozen pizza is equally bad. Trans fat sneaks into the dough of many frozen pizzas, with about 0.3 grams in just one slice. San Diego mother of 2 Katie Simpson sued Nestle for $5 million last year over the use of trans fat in its frozen pizzas sold by DiGiorno, Stouffer's, and California Pizza Kitchen. The case was dismissed since she knowingly purchased and consumed the pizza. One solution? Make your own pie at home. Popcorn's unhealthy as well. I know it's your Friday night movie staple, but microwavable popcorn puts the spotlight on trans fats. The true culprits are the toppings. Butter flavoring can include 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving, while caramel flavoring can contain as many as 1.5 grams. Some extra buttery varieties can have up to 15 grams of trans fats per bag, which is all too easy to inhale in one sitting. Stay away from the microwave popcorn, says Napoli. Just do the old-fashioned air pop or use an actual oil to pop the kernels in. You might love them, but packaged cookies are the devil's. Even the beloved Girl Scout cookies still sneak some trans fat in, despite a label that says trans fat free. You may be able to justify those because they only happen a few times a year, but check to see if your favorite store-bought cookies are made with partially hydrogenated cooking oils. Chances are they are, including Chips Ahoy and Keebler, although some brands like Oreos now use high oleic oils instead so they can provide shelf-stable cookies at a reasonable cost. Lastly, margarine. Margarine consumption boomed during the butter shortages of World War II, with even Eleanor Roosevelt promoting it as her toast topping of choice. But it's a recipe for trans fat overload. To create the creamy spread, liquid vegetable oils are blasted with hydrogen. The more solid the margarine, the more it's been hydrogenated. Many labels claim to have 0 grams of trans fat, but if the label lists partially hydrogenated oils, those small amounts of trans fat can add up when you slather margarine on your food. High fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, is an ingredient that didn't exist before 1960, but has a strong appeal to food manufacturers because it's so very sweet, cheap to make, and easy to store. According to David Zinczenko in the ABS diet, the human body doesn't have a shutoff switch for HFCS the way it does with real sugar. This leads us to keep drinking a cola or eating sweet treats long after we would have stopped if they were naturally sweetened. Those who pay attention to what they eat may have noticed high fructose corn syrup creeping into an alarming number of foods in the supermarket aisle. Corn subsidies and other trends have pushed this relatively unhealthy substance into many of the general food groups that we shop for on a regular basis. Here are some of the popular food and drink items that contain high fructose corn syrup, an element with a lot of sugar that has been known to contribute to diabetes and other conditions when eaten in excess. Soft drinks are packed with HFCS. It's no surprise to most of us that soda is chock full of high fructose corn syrup. To those who aren't used to the drink, the stuff can be almost sickeningly sweet. Even diet varieties can have a large amount of this sweetener. Add the fact that soda machines can be found on the street corner, in the lobbies of buildings, and in almost any public space, and it's easy to see why obesity and sugar-related conditions are such a problem in today's world. Also, sauces and salad dressing will hurt your waistline. Most ketchup ends up on French fries, and few stop to consider that it's actually acting to make the fries unhealthier. That's because it uses high fructose corn syrup as its number 3 ingredient, at least in a bottle of America's number 1 best-selling ketchup, Heinz. There's 4 grams of total sugar, and the majority of that will come from HFCS. You might think yogurt is good, but you're dead wrong. Although many dieters add yogurt to their daily menu, they'd better watch out at the sweeteners it contains, with many of the brands using high fructose corn syrup to make them taste good. Going with a light version of yogurt no doubt means you're getting an artificial sweetener, which can be just as bad. Pay extra attention to processed snacks too. There are other items that the average consumer wouldn't think of as HFCS candidates. Look at the labels for things like breaded meats or processed potato items and make sure that the sweetener is not lurking somewhere on that label. Monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG, is a commonly used food enhancer whose taste is described as umami-like. Taste is usually divided into 4 categories: sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Glutamate is said to have a 5th unique taste called umami, which is described as the savory flavor of meats. MSG is used to enhance this so-called umami flavor and is known to have negative side effects even when ingested in small amounts. Since MSG is found so frequently in processed foods, it is very hard to avoid, except in cases when the packaging specifically states that the product contains no MSG. Even then, manufactured free glutamic acid can be found in different forms, such as torula yeast. MSG, torula yeast, yeast extracts, and hydrolyzed proteins can raise levels of glutamate, which in turn overstimulates neurons. Synthetically produced glutamates may have different names, but are all essentially MSG. Some common glutamates strongly related to MSG include hydrolyzed proteins, autolyzed yeasts, protein concentrates, yeast extract, glutamic acid, and the list goes on. These glutamates can be found in very common grocery items such as low-fat yogurt, canned soups, chips, and most ranch and cheese-flavored foods. In a 2014 study published in Life Science, researchers found that young rats treated with MSG were more susceptible to developing anxiety and depressive behaviors. Examples of food rich in MSG are vegan breakfast sausage, bacon bits, veggie burger and nuggets, and fried food. Walk into any big grocery store and you'll find that artificial sweeteners are everywhere. They're tucked into soft drinks, baked goods, and fruit juices to make them taste sweet without the extra calories. Most products that contain artificial sweeteners are usually labeled as diet or reduced sugar, but not all are. You can even find some in foods that claim to have natural ingredients. Because they're not always clearly labeled on food packaging, consumers may not realize that they're eating them. Artificial sweeteners have been under the spotlight for decades now, as health food advocates point out that they come with a list of side effects, much like a drug. The side effects that are claimed by those against sweeteners like aspartame include some really severe conditions, such as depression, insomnia, blindness, tinnitus, hives, and a contributing factor to things like Alzheimer's and MS. Examples of foods rich in artificial sweeteners are light food and beverages with the word light or low sugar, Diet Coke, and packaged snacks. High levels of sodium, or salt, can really wreak havoc on your body. Not only does it cause you to retain water, but it also increases blood pressure and can lead to complications with the heart. Almost all heart patients are put on a low-sodium diet, whether they suffered a heart attack, stroke, or are at risk for them. It makes sense to watch your sodium levels long before it reaches the point of a doctor telling you to do so or forcing you onto a diet to help save your life. Foods high in sodium are cheese, salty snacks, frozen meals, bread, and tortillas. Foods high in calories can really add to your waistline in a hurry if you're not careful. The reason they're so sneaky is because you can consume hundreds of calories quickly and not even be aware of it. A popular dieting theory is that the fewer calories taken in, the more weight you'll lose, all else being equal. That's why you see people going on low-calorie diets and trying to burn calories in the gym. You don't have to go to extremes, but minding the calories you consume will lead to a healthier you. Examples of food choices high in calories are pasta dishes, chocolate, and chia seeds. It's not as if you have to go low carb or no carb, but you should still keep an eye on your carbohydrate intake. In fact, there's even a recommended daily allowance set at 130 grams. Why are too many carbs unhealthy? Foods high in carbohydrates will be digested quickly and tend to increase your blood sugar levels. This causes a release of insulin, which produces glycogen, which gets stored in the body as fat. They're also responsible for making you feel hungry again quickly and can lead to more eating and overeating than would otherwise happen. Examples are bagels, coffee drinks, and movie popcorn. In this video, you'll learn how to get rid of love handles. So, what are the workouts for women? Firstly, crunches on an exercise ball. What are the steps? Sit on a well-inflated exercise ball. For more information on what diameter ball to use, read Ball Size Matters. Place your hands behind your head and walk your feet away from the ball so your torso starts to roll onto the ball. The ball should support your hips and the curve of your lower back. Your legs should form a bridge with your knees bent at right angles. Exhale and lift your upper body by about 45 degrees, pulling the deep abs in toward the spine, and return to the starting position. Don't yank your neck and do 25 reps. The second exercise is Pilates 100s. Start by lying on your back with your legs in tabletop position, hips and knees at right angles. Engage your deep abs to round your lower spine into the floor. Make sure you're not pooching your abs, which means you're just working the top layer of abs, which is a Pilates no-no. Exhale and lift your upper back off the floor until the bottom tips of your shoulder blades skim the floor. Straighten your legs to a 45-degree angle, but make sure your low back is staying connected to the floor. Reach your arms towards your feet. Your arms will be about 2 inches off the floor. Pump your arms up and down with a small range of motion, keeping your elbows straight. Inhale for 5 arm pumps and exhale for 5 arm pumps. That completes one set or cycle. Repeat the cycle 9 more times for a total of 100 pumps. Keep your upper body stable while your arms pump. The third exercise is bicycle crunches. Lie flat on the floor with your lower back pressed to the ground. Pull your abs down to also target your deep abs. Interlace your fingers and put your hands behind your head. Bring your knees in towards your chest and lift your shoulder blades off the ground. Straighten your right leg out to about a 45-degree angle to the ground while turning your upper body to the left, bringing your right elbow toward the left knee. Make sure your rib cage is moving and not just your elbows. Now switch sides and do the same motion on the other side to complete 1 rep and to create the pedaling motion. Do this exercise with slow and controlled motion. Do 10 to 20 reps. The fourth exercise is twisting side plank. Come into a side plank on your right side with your feet stacked one on top of the other and your weight on your right elbow with your fingers reaching away from your body, palm down. Place your left arm behind your head and inhale to prepare. Exhale and pull your navel to your spine to engage your deep abs and rotate your left rib cage toward the floor. Stay there for a second and deepen your abdominal connection by pulling your navel in towards your spine even more. Return to the starting position and repeat 7 more times for a total of 8 reps, then switch sides. Repeat series again on both sides. The fifth exercise is the Russian twist. Sit on the ground with your knees bent and your heels about a foot from your bum. Lean slightly back without rounding your spine at all. It is really important and difficult to keep your back straight, but don't let it curve. Place your arms straight out in front of you with your hands one on top of the other. Your hands should be level with the bottom of your rib cage. Pull your navel to your spine and twist slowly to the left. The movement is not large and comes from the ribs rotating, not from your arms swinging. Inhale through center and rotate to the right. This completes 1 rep. Do 16 full rotations. To get washboard abs, the best exercise is hanging ab curls. Using a pull-up bar, get a good grip with your palms facing out or toward each other. Start with your legs hanging straight down, and on an exhale, pull your abs towards your spine and bend your knees, lifting them towards your chest. Without swinging, slowly lower your knees, returning to a straight leg position. Repeat for a total of 10 to 12 reps. Next, we'll talk about the best exercises for men. The first is, of course, sit-ups. Lie flat on your back on the floor with your knees bent and your legs secured under a piece of heavy furniture. I'm assuming that you're doing this routine at home. Place your hands by your chest. Flexing your abdominals, raise your torso until you are nearly in a sitting position. Retaining tension on the abs, lower your torso to the beginning position. Remember to maintain full control throughout the movement. Also, avoid the temptation to rock back and forth. The second exercise is leg raises. Lie flat on your back on the floor with your legs straight out in front of you. Place your hands at your sides by the floor for support. Flexing your lower abdominals, raise your legs until they're perpendicular to the floor. Retaining tension on the abs, lower your legs to the beginning position. Again, maintain full control throughout the movement. Avoid the temptation to let your legs drop on the negative portion of the movement. The third exercise is knees in. Sit on the floor or on the edge of a chair or exercise bench with your legs extended in front of you and your hands holding onto the sides for support. Keeping your knees together, pull your knees in towards your chest until you can go no further. Keeping the tension on your lower ab muscles, return to the start position and repeat the movement until you have completed your set. The fourth exercise is toe touchers. Sit on the floor or on the edge of a chair or exercise bench with your legs extended in front of you and your hands holding onto the sides for support. Simultaneously bring your legs up as far as possible, while at the same time bringing your torso towards them. Return to the start position and repeat the movement until you have completed your set. Note, this is a modified version of a V-up. In a true V-up, your starting position is lying down on the floor and bringing yourself up with no arm support. The fifth exercise is crunches. Lie flat on your back on the floor with your legs in front of you, bent at the knees. Place your hands by your chest. At this time, raise your shoulders and torso as far as possible from the ground in a curling movement without raising your back from the floor. Retaining tensions on the abs, bring your torso to the starting position. To slim down, you have to alter your energy balance. There are simply two ways to accomplish this. Either take in less calories or spend more energy through exercise. The easiest way to boil down your consumption is merely cut back on the size of your meals and or the total high-calorie foods you eat. This doesn't mean that you have to give up any certain food. Bear in mind that there's more to a beautiful body than just utilizing effective wellness products. You need to be on a total preventative healthcare and wellness program that involves diet, nutrition, making a point that your body gets the proper nutrients, and exercise. Optimum body functions today require any added help they can get, as most people don't go through the trouble to consume foods that are healthy and beneficial for them. Therefore, there's a need to make a conscious effort to source out essential vitamin types of foods and include them into the daily diet plan for hoped good conditions.